Hey guys, you're back with the House of Fata Morgana, and I'm a genius. I think the last time was the reveal that, right? The Michel's. Hey guys, you're back with. That was last time, right?
They bury me, and that created.
Yeah. Okay. Michel's, well, actually a girl, or like, something like that. And, yeah, that was a week ago. It's been a while. I haven't gotten the chance to play. I've had to play the letter and Fire Emblem because my backlog ran out. Michel. I've been wanting to play this so badly. I only have time for one today, but I can make it a pretty long one. I have like 50 minutes to an hour to record, so. When I learned my father Antonin in the past, I wrote 2 letters. One to my brother, one to my mother. It's the first time I'd found the courage to face my mother, to open up to her. I wanted to show her who I was, convince her I wasn't cursed, so I could be myself when I returned to the capital with Giselle. Dear Mother, there's something I wish to tell you, something that means a great deal to me. So I ask you, please hear me out. And I ask of you, please accept it. Mother, I no longer bear any resentment for my present lot in life. Nevertheless, I'd ask you to concede one thing, that I was never cursed, that I was always your son, that I'm Michel, not Michel. I found someone who I care for dearly, a woman, and I love her with all my heart. I'd like to spend the rest of my life with her. I do not wish for much, simply to have a quiet life with her, to go through our days together, man and woman. That is the one thing I want. Mother, I know you're aware that my body is no longer female. I am a man. My heart is male, and I ask of you to please accept that. So, what does he mean his body is no longer female? I mean, back in those days, like, they didn't have the, I don't know the name of the surgery, but, you know. So I'm not sure what that means. Does he mean that, like, metaphorically, or is his body, like, is he actually physically a guy now? I don't know. I have no grudge with you. In fact, I am incredibly grateful to you for bringing me into this world. With love, your dear son. Shortly after sending that letter, I was killed. I'm dragged down, against my will, into the darkness. Beneath me spreads my own past. My door, the door I swore never to open. But despite all my efforts to resist, the door lets me in. Into a world I never wanted to see again, a history I never wanted revealed, a past I never wanted anyone to see. Nonetheless, the door opens. What door is this? Door 7? The 7th door. Okay. So was all that door 6? That was just everything before that? I guess? 1086. 1086? So, it's 1099, so that's 13 years before. How old is Michel? I don't think he's ever actually given an age. Huh. There are 2 things out of the ordinary about that baby. The first, its parents embraced. The second, they wholly rejected. Although, it was sometime before the baby's second peculiarity emerged. And until it finally did, no one was any the wiser. Not even the child itself. So this is 3 years before he gets sent to the mansion, though. Its mother surely enjoyed that brief period of happiness, before her child finally realized the truth. Blind to the fact that the moment it had let out its first cry, everything came crashing down. To this day, she still doesn't know the child she gave birth to, that she let loose a curse upon the world. A curse that turned angels into demons, humans into witches. And it's gonna play the dancing people. No. My god, look at that. She's beautiful, isn't she? Have you seen her laugh? Not yet, I haven't. At any rate, that color certainly is something else. God's gift to us. No, she's an angel sent from heaven. An angel. Ah yes, I can see it now, Liddy. Her white hair and almost translucent skin. It's beautiful. Ah! Why she opened her eyes? Maybe she felt you nearby. Do you like your father more than me? Is that it, sweetheart? Gorgeous, aren't they? Such a deep, enchanting color. Like 2 little jewels. Ah, that they are. Magnificent shade of red. I've never seen anything like it. This is our child. She's special. I can feel it. We have to take good care of her. She needs a name. One that's just as special as her. Have you already chosen, Antonin? You're the one begging for a girl. You do it. Besides, I already like to rack my brain. I already had to rack my brain for the boys' names. Now it's your turn. Are you really gonna let me? Aya, Aya! It's quite a lot of pressure. Name her after an angel, then. Oh, I like that. Alright, then. We'll call her Michel, after the archangel, Michael. You'll grow up to be as beautiful as an angel, my Michel. Always wanted a little girl. Okay, so... born okay-ish? I mean, you know, there's the pale skin and red eyes thing, but... I guess... that... I thought something would be, like, messed up, like, you know, with their, like, sexual organs and stuff. When they were born, because... Michel mentioned that he, had a curse from birth. Or something like that. I forget. It's been a while. With her snowy white hair, skin so pale you could see the veins beneath it, and her ruby red eyes, she was a very peculiar looking little girl, and her mother showered her with love. She truly believed her daughter was an angel sent from above, born as a human child. The blessed babe, born as a girl, was given an angel's name. Michel. Me. The sea's name is Michel. Oh, Michel's childhood. Checkmate. Oh? We don't get sprites, we get portraits. Gah! Ha, I see, that's what you did. Curses, I completely overlooked that. Thought you were advancing with your pawns. Is this, Michel's brother? But that was all a diversion. I don't know if I should call Michel a girl or a guy at this present scene. If I do the wrong one, like, people will kill me. No, I don't think that'll happen, but still. You're too short-sighted. Is it Didier? Let me look that up. I'll just refer to Michel as a guy. Since, I mean, that's what I've been doing. It's easier. How do I pronounce this? The French and Spanish name, okay, but how do you pronounce it? There. I don't have to type it in. No, don't watch the YouTube videos. Google images, come on. No. Okay, you're Didier. Didier Kong. He's like Diddy Kong, but better. Sometimes it's the tactician and not the soldier holding the sword. You got me. You're quite good at this, Michel. What inspired you to take such an aggressive strategy? It's not inspiration. It's derivate. Oh no. Oh no. So it's derive. But it's not derivation. It's derivate. You know, you get what I mean. No! Chess is in many ways similar to real war tactics. Ah, my military texts. You haven't read all of them, have you? I have nothing but time. Impressive. Even I haven't read all the books in my room. Planning to join the order with that kind of knowledge? You jest. You're the one who's going to be a knight, Didier. Haha, that I am. War is the men's job, after all. I want you to be there to welcome me home. Come on, can you have a different name? Didier, oh, Didier. I'm in a bit of a bind, Oh, hello there, Michel. I didn't know you were home. Is it George's? I think so. Just got back, yep. Oh, playing chess again, are ya? Let's see, what do we have here? Get away from the board. Yikes, you got challenged, huh? You call yourself her brother. As if you're any better. It's not funny, Georges. And I remember he mentioned, he had a crush on his brother's fiance. I'm assuming it's a Didier. So, fiance, not him himself, because, you know, it's his fiance, not him. That's not funny, Georges. Cannot approve of someone who can't keep up with the flow of battle, becoming a knight. Given our family's rank, you would eventually be put in charge of other soldiers. What, you're worried about me? No, I'm saying... I'm blessed with such a caring sister. But fear not. I have a guardian angel, after all. Where's the logic in that? Ah, sorry to interrupt your moment, but... Does nobody listen to me? No, don't pout. So what seems to be the problem, Georges? Ah yes, listen to this. The royal court is holding a swordsmanship show, And for some reason, I was selected to participate. How unfortunate for you. Can already see you on the ground sobbing. Hey now, that's just mean. Besides, my hands weren't meant to hold a sword. Look at these dainty fingers. They're covered in calluses. Dainty calluses. Tell me, why would they have an artist sword fight? That's the whole point, I think. No need to get so worked up. No one's expecting you to win. Maybe not, but we do have a name to worry about. And you know what that means, don't you? I'm gonna lose. That's a given. But I want to do it in style. Feel bad for your sword. Oh, don't be like that. It's interesting that instead of sprites, there's like portraits. Or whatever you want to call these. Now come on, time's wasted. To the courtyard we go. Just so you know, if I train you, I'm going to train you right. All I want to know is how to look good. Huh? What is it, Michel? May I watch? Fine with me, but you know you can't go outside. I'll be watching from the hall. I can open one of the windows facing the courtyard. Still, you need to be careful. Can't spend too much time in the sun. I know. I had two older brothers. The eldest, Didier, belonged to an order of knights that served the church. Didier? That sounds better, but... Didier? That does sound better. The Didier. It reminds me of Diddy Kong. And I would kind of laugh at that in my head when I say it. I pronounce Didier. Come on, just... I don't want to click on any of these links, like howtopronounce.com. No, I'm not clicking that. Or the YouTube ones that take 20 minutes to load. Like, it's just them, like, playing, like, a Windows Movie Maker animation. And then they say the word wrong anyway. Because it's just all computer automated. How to pronounce... Yeah. Okay, that's it. I'm just going to pronounce his name differently every time. And below him was Georges, who served as a court artist. He was in all likelihood who would inherit the family estate, as knights were not formally allowed to own property. Nevertheless, the Bollinger family name was upheld by Didier. And then there was me, the youngest, the only daughter. Physically, I was not in particularly good health. Because of the color of my skin, I was hypersensitive to sunlight. I rarely left the estate. My world was contained entirely within these walls. Perhaps out of some sense of pity or compassion, my two brothers spent a good deal of time with me. I can't think of other ways to pronounce it. Didier played chess with me, and Georges taught me how to draw. And among other things, they taught me how to read and write. For a girl, I was incredibly fortunate. The one thing I wasn't allowed to do, though, was hold a sword. While hardly anything unusual, it bothered me deeply. And it had for as long as I could remember. Would I have been told I couldn't do it because I lacked the strength, probably would have accepted it. Where the reason given was not that I was weak, but that I was a girl. With each passing year, that smoldering frustration in the back of my heart grew larger. Come on, put your back into it. Like I said, all I want to do is put on a good show. Oh, you'll put on quite a show. Let's see that I know how to swing that sword properly. Give me a break! Out in the garden, my two brothers traded swings bare-chested. All I could do, though, was observe from afar. And every time I found myself forced to watch, I felt a sharp pain, like a needle piercing my chest. A needle that seemed to be growing ever thicker. My mother and my brothers loved me dearly, but that didn't change the fact that the outside world lay beyond my reach. I was trapped in the estate by my own body. At first, I thought that was the root of my pain. But that answer seemed to contradict something inside me. Something I couldn't explain. Something that I couldn't ignore even as a child. So I searched within myself, trying to find an explanation for the constantly swelling sensation of wrongness inside me. Day after day, I gazed in the cavern of my own heart. Oh yeah. Now what are the two of them doing out there? Georges was left to do a swordsman's show at the royal court, so Didier's helping him. Swordsmanship? Oh, I can't stand those shows. Like, they're so dangerous. Can't watch people swinging them at each other. Why don't you come back to your room with me, Michel? I'd love to teach you how to sew. But Mom, I want to watch them practice. Michel? First of all, you need to watch how you speak, young lady. You do not call me Mom, you call me Mother. This is what happens when you spend so much time around boys. As your mother, I don't approve of you playing chess or making art. A woman has no needs for such skills. They only make you look insolent. Well, she's pretty old-fashioned. Like, you know, pretty... Wait, it's 9th century, right? Wait, it's one ahead? 11th century. I always get that mixed up. But I want you to grow up to be a respectable woman. That's my job and my dream as your mother. Now come. Like, I know why that is. It's because, you know, the year 0 to year 99 would be the 1st century. Then everything on would be, you know. But still. Rather you looked at some fine embroidery with me than a couple of sweaty men. Yes, mother. You're my little girl, after all. Spending time with my mother was agonizing. Was it because her world was so isolated? No, that wasn't it. Her gentle voice, the sweet scent of her perfume, the way she constantly told me how much she loved me, and her diatribes about how wonderful it was to be a girl. Everything she did put so much pressure on me. But above all, she loved to say, "You're my little girl, after all." And there's nothing strange about that at all. Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw the daughter of a noble. That's who I was. So the only thing wrong was how I felt. But every time I was faced with the reality of who I was, my heart wavered. I had no interest in learning to embroider. I didn't understand why that was necessary. I knew what purpose it served. Everything she taught me I would need when I was wed off to some noble boy. It was my responsibility to learn those things. It didn't feel right, though. I couldn't even accept the fact that one day I would be married. It was but an ominous shadow lurking in my future. I'd have preferred ravaging the books in the dyer's room than having a conversation with my mother. The dyer still feels wrong, but it feels better than Didier. Tales of heroes of old and tauntless soldiers. Military textured and by tacticians in the midst of war. Thinking about them set my heart aflutter. It made me think about my brother. He was training to be a knight. I envisioned armor flecked with rust. A long sword glimmering with the blood of savages. Soon I found myself in my fantasies, imagining how the sword would feel in my hands. The sensation of the hilt beneath my fingers. Swinging it gallantly, like my brother. How heavy was it? How much muscle would I need to carry it? How much impact would I feel in my hands when I struck something? How restricted would my vision be wearing a helmet? How much did it weigh? How hot was it inside? I had no way of answering any of those questions, though. Kill me now. Have some cloth? Would you like to wipe yourself off? Oh yeah, thanks. I'm so dead. You're at it for a long time. Never known D to half try. How do you? God, what do you do? I'll think of a funny joke quick. Everyone's laughing at you. Have try something once you get started. Which I guess is what makes him knight material, but... Are you opposed to him becoming a knight? Well, you know, I can assume he'd inherit the estate and handle taking care of everything. So it's like, why is he gonna go and be some priest whipping boy? Don't tell him I said that, though. He wants to fight for the greater good. I don't know. Despite the name, he won't be doing much fighting himself. Anywho, someone as passionate as him might be able to make changes for the better. Changes? He knows what condition the order is in. That's why he's joining. Figure he wants to whip him into shape. Melt him down and reforge the whole thing. So I might be able to change things. What? What are you muttering about, Michel? Hey, whoa, hold it. The pain I felt in my chest when I smelled the sweat emanating from George's body, when I looked at his slender but distinctly male build, I was convinced it was admiration. Did I want to become a knight too? Maybe the discomfort I felt was because I wanted to be like him? Would it all go away if he were able to change the rules and I could join the order as well? I was positive it would. The dyer. Michel? Oh, hold on. Can't come barging into my room unannounced. Trying to change. We need to talk. I said stop. You're a girl. Can't just walk in on a man as he's changing. So you no reason for you to be so self-conscious. Listen to me, Michel. Georgius tells me you're planning to overhaul the order. He told you that? No, I hardly have such grand aspirations. Don't be coy. I believe you have what it takes to do it, denier. Well, what's gotten into you? You're unusually fiery today. So I want to ask you a favor. When you have enough influence in the order, I'd like you to make me a knight too. You what? I'm tired of the way Mother treats me. Always saying I can't do this or that because I'm a girl. I want to learn how to swing a sword. I don't want to be... I don't want to do embroidery. I don't care about jewelry or fancy clothing. Michel, what's gotten into you? So much more interest in the world you live in to die here, so please. Well, I'll be. Suppose we must have let ourselves spend too much time with you. Not you too. That's exactly what Mother said. First of all, Michel, you don't have the strength to hold a sword. And I'll train until I do. If that doesn't work, I still have my mind. You know good and well I could. People are not chess pieces, Michel. But to die here. But above all, you're missing the most important point. I will not for any reason become the kind of man who makes a woman take up a sword. To die here. This may seem normal to you, growing up with two brothers, but I want you to listen to me, Michel. Men and women walk different paths. Men wield swords and fight against dangerous enemies. They do so to protect the weak, women and children. Wow, such old-fashioned thinking. It's almost like they're from the 11th century. Ah! That's me doing a like, da-da, tss, but I just have a table, so I can't actually. That work? Oh, I got a text message. Oh, from my phone provider. Cool. I'm here to protect you and your mother. Hold on, I need to turn my air conditioner on. I'll turn it on low, so it probably won't be too loud. I don't think it even picks up on high on my mic, but still. I just like to be careful with it. You're no different from her. You don't treat me any different than her. Honestly, what's gotten into you, Michel? Why wouldn't I treat you like a daughter of the Bollinger estate? Your brother and I, we never meant to make you think. Forget it. What? I'm sorry. I knew what I was asking you was foolish. Oh? But I thought you would understand how I feel. Even just a little bit. What was I expecting him to understand? Even I didn't understand the things I felt. I wanted him to know what had gotten into me far more than he did. I wanted to know what had gotten into me far more than he did. What I had done was no better than throw a temper tantrum. Was I that desperate to become a knight? No. I just thought that the key to the trains in my heart lay down that road. But ultimately, there was nothing. Assuming the dyer had agreed, assuming I did become a knight, I wouldn't do anything for the core problem. As I dashed from my brother's room, I took a peek at him. His face was filled with an intense perplexity. How could I blame him? I tried to push a dozen different ideals onto him at once. Filled myself with a vain hope that he would somehow be able to make sense of me when I couldn't even make sense of myself. And now, bubbling with unwarranted anger at being let down, I fled to my own chambers. I can only imagine how frustrating that must have been for him. It's the spring of my 14th year. Okay, that gives us an age. So that means Michel is 26 in present time. Give or take. Or 27. Because we don't know how much of a time skip there is now. Or maybe it's just now saying, like, maybe Michel's 14 before too. We don't know that. So he's 26, 27, 28. It's the spring of my 14th year. Heavy clouds filled the sky, blocking out the sun and giving the impression of late evening all throughout the day. I, for one, preferred it when the sun wasn't out. Not that sunlight would kill me, but if it was bright enough, the whole world was so white I could hardly see a thing. Which meant I could only go outside on days when the weather made most everyone else gloomy. Huh? That's question mark sound. Huh? Is this meandering through the courtyard? I forgot her name, but I assume this is his fiance. Spotted someone I had never seen before. It said her name. I don't know what it was, but it said it. A warm breeze flew past, setting up a swirl of flower petals. The girl's dress hung lightly over her frame, tracing her gentle curves. Who are you? Asked bluntly, the girl twirled around, smiling. My apologies. You just have such a beautiful courtyard here. I let myself in for a little walk. Amy. I think that's Amy, right? Yeah, I remember having problems being like, is that how you say it? Long chestnut hair flowed over round feminine shoulders. It swayed slightly in the wind. The cloud of melancholy dissipated in the light of her smile. You must be Michel. You're just as pretty as I heard. And you are? My name is Amy. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. I'm going to say this is Amy until something convinces me otherwise, which I don't think you will be able to. Finally? Meet me? What was she talking about? As I stood here, baffled by the strange woman, she stepped towards me, kissing me softly on the cheek. I'm thrilled to make your acquaintance, Michel. Her voice was like someone pouring honey into my ear. Electrifyingly sweet. I'm George's fiancé. Oh, George's! And I was also stuck another needle into my chest. She's a noble girl by the name of Amy Gilbert. This is how do you say that? Halcyon days? I don't know the meaning of that word. Let me look it up. Halcyon. Denoting a period of time in the past as that was happy and peaceful.
Halcyon.
Though only 15, she was the very image of her kind, polished to a shine. No one had told me my brother was to be married. Came out of nowhere. It seemed I was the only one who didn't know. That evening, when the family gathered around the table for supper, Amy was there too. They prepared an extravagant feast for the occasion. My brother and Tony looked so proud of his two boys. The dyer soon received his assignment, and George was soon to be wed. The banquet proceeded smoothly. Not a doubt in the air that we were a happy family. But my mind was elsewhere. I found myself unconsciously chasing Amy with my eyes. Watching the way those slender fingers gripped her spoon, her full lips parting to allow a piece of fruit in. Her deep red tongue, visible for but the briefest of moments. The way all the muscles in her face seemed to relax in bliss as sweet juices seeped into her mouth. The way she spoke, so soft and gentle, letting each sound hang in the air just briefly before intoning the next. Intoning? I think that's it. Just distinctly feminine, in a different way from my mother. Apparently, Amy was going to be living at the Bollinger estate for some time. Mother was pleased to have another girl around. Or more specifically, she was relieved to have found someone other than my brothers for me to spend time with. I'd assumed I'd hate being around another girl. Surely she wouldn't be able to play chess after all. But for some reason, felt much less suffocated around her than my mother. One night, Amy's family and an array of nobles from both houses' social circles assembled at the estate of her for a party. A din the likes of which I had never heard in my life filled with the great hall. Everywhere I looked, there were people. Servants scrambled around every which way. Silverware clanged against dishes in an almost constant hum. Voices from all directions. I felt moderately ill. Hey D, I feel like we're critically short on waiters. This don't look good for us. Wait, he said hey D. So, it's D Dyer. D Dyer. D Deer. D Deer. I think it's D Dyer. Oh, okay. Who was it who won after inviting everyone he came across again? Who are those people? They're artists like me. I met them at the court. Let's see. We have some painters, composers, sculptors. That's troubadours, right? Poets, writers, you name it. None of them have any connection to the Gilberts or Bollingers. Sure they do. They're my friends. And you know, this is me and Amy's party. You can play with your friends elsewhere. I'll be realized we have a reputation to uphold. Off in one corner, several men, presumably George's friends, gathered in a circle. They stood out from the other aristocrats, both in appearance and in the air they gave off. The clothes they wore, their embroidery hidden beneath their jacket cuffs. Their manner of speech, the way they held themselves. They were simply put a far cry from the hard-headed D-Dyer's ideal party guests. Even watching them from afar, it was clear my two brothers ran in very different crowds. The only reason the headstrong D-Dyer and free-spirited Georges were able to get along was all because they were brothers. D-Deer. Now it's gotta be D-Dyer because that D-I is D, so D-I-E wouldn't be D2, right? Right? Pronunciation? I mean, it's not English, so it has to make sense, right? If they'd been strangers, I doubt their paths would cross much. And if they did, their intersections would be quite rocky. Hey, come here, guys! George's shouting voice pulled my preoccupied mind back to the surface. He summoned his friends, then led them to where I stood. What are you doing hiding in the corner, Michel? I didn't even notice you. Allow me to introduce you to a few of my friends. George just put his hand on my shoulder, barreling me off the wall and standing me in front of his male friends. Socialization was the last thing on my mind. I searched for the dyer, hoping he would come to my rescue, but he's off trading pleasantries, facing away from me. This is my baby sister, Michel. Be nice. Georges, I don't... Graces, your skin is even more pale than I imagined. It's like something out of a fairy tale. Why have you never brought her with you to the court? Should be a sure hit. How old are you now? 12, mayhap? Now, don't treat the lady like a child. Let me know she's 14. All the more reason she should be out there making friends. The whole court would flip if they knew you had such a gorgeous sister, Georges. Don't be a brute, my man. Little Angel has to be kept inside for personal reasons. Uh-oh. Seems like I haven't been showing the lady her due respects. Didn't even properly introduce myself. How rude indeed. Their laughs grated on my nerves. So did the way Georges spoke as though I was his property. It looked like they were praising me, which made me sick to my stomach. I'd been paying enough attention to notice the man who asked if I was 12, the rest of them too, examining me from head to toe in search of curves. I was indeed underdeveloped for 14. But what did that matter? I didn't want a body shape like Amy's or my mother's. Now then, my lady, proper greeting. The man got down on one knee before me. For a split second, didn't comprehend what he was doing. Go on, Michel. He's waiting. He whispered into my ear. That's when it all came back to me, the traditional greeting performed between a man and a woman. Come on, Michel. Don't tell me you forgot what to do. I know. I knew the process. I had that knowledge. Mother taught me the rules, showed me the procedure. So the fact that, that doesn't necessarily tell us everything, but there's also the fact that Michel in present time doesn't have noticeable, I just remember, there's a Star Trek BR video. You guys have probably seen it. But anyway. Don't get off topic. Michel in present time doesn't have any noticeable breasts, meaning it's possible. Oh, got a static. Got a Discord. Shut up. And, which means, maybe, well, no. Huh. My theory that there is something physically, like a physical problem with them, isn't completely out of the picture yet, I think, because of that. It reminds me of that other thing I've been referencing without actually referencing it hard. You know what I'm talking about. Probably. Anyway, but, I think that's entirely possible. I was to present my hand to the man, for him to kiss. All I had to do was hold out my hand, but I was frozen. My body fought tooth and nail against the simple act. Thought that the man putting his lips on my skin sent a chill through me. Why? Why is this a traditional greeting? Why did I have to go through this? Michel! With the sound of George's frantic voice, my arm creaked up from my side. Then I remembered that despite being his friends, there was still nobility. Is Wanton? Is it Wanton or Win? Wait, I think it's Wanton, right? Wanton. Wanton, okay. As his social interactions may have been, still a reputation to maintain. And I understood that. I also understood that as their sister, it was my responsibility not to do anything that might tarnish either of my brothers' names. Also, by tradition, man wasn't supposed to actually kiss the woman's hand. For every way to do it required he simply mimic the act, rather than make real contact. Oh, was that actually a thing? Is that real? Not much I could handle. The man kneeling before me gave me an uncomfortable chuckle at my reluctance, shrugged, reverently took my hand in his, and then he pressed his lips firmly against my skin. There's a vaguely warm sensation on the back of my mind for the briefest moment. Hey, you did it wrong! What do you... Reflexively, I smacked the man's hand away. George's eye went wide in order, and the man gave another playful shrug. It's merely offering you a greeting, milady. Or is even that a new experience to you? Your innocence is truly precious. I was half a second away from throwing a barrage of insults, but I bit my tongue and stomped off instead. What? Michel? Come back, Michel. Spent all the time convincing myself I couldn't humiliate my brothers, but now, what a near reward of it. I had drawn a fair bit of attention. Other people tried to stop me too, but I brushed them all off, marching my way out of the great hall. I feel so dirty. You called that a greeting? No, that was no greeting. That was... I'll be taking that. I say, practically swiping a glass of water off a passing waiter's tray. With it, I wedged my hand by the window facing the courtyard. but no matter how much water I poured over it, I couldn't erase the sickening sensation of his mouth on my hand. So I rubbed it with my sleeve until the skin was bright red. Wanted to feel something else, anything else, even pain. Think before you act, Georges. What were you doing inviting people like that into our home? I was angry, and I had every right to be. He had not performed the proper greeting. Even in jest, he had no business actually putting his lips on my hand. It was not acceptable behavior for an aristocrat. He was a guest. Should have been ashamed. Was I angry that he had been disrespectful? No, that wasn't the reason. It wasn't very nice of you, running off like that. Yeah! At the sound of his voice, I couldn't turn back. But a sickening warmth almost directly against my back. The man from the great hall grabbed me by the wrists, spun me around, and pressed me against the wall. The bitter scent of wine wafted from above. What the heck are you doing? Tried to take a time to get away from him, but that was when the reality sunk in. I couldn't do it. All the strength I could muster wasn't enough to make the man's hand budge. My arms were locked in place. I didn't think he was especially strong either. He suddenly built like the Dyer, and still, I couldn't move an inch. Got a tongue like a boy, milady. But I know some people's fond of that these days. Yes, I mind myself. Let go. Had I always met these people? Were my arms truly so worthless I couldn't even escape this brute's grip? Why did I have to get stuck with this body? Now just so we're clear, not gonna hurt you. No monster, promise you that. Why are you holding me against the wall? Because I want a chance to try and woo you. I apologize if I made you uncomfortable back there. The second I laid eyes on you, I knew you were a keeper. Now let go of me. But if I do that, you'll run away. And it's my personal rule to never let go of anything I like. Your brother says you can't go outside, so if I let you loose now, I never get a chance to catch you again. I wanted to vomit. Apparently taking my silence for approval, the man perked up and kept going. If you're not accustomed to being around men, then why not use this as an opportunity to get familiar? Not a half bad idea, if I say so myself. I think we would get along quite well. Besides, I'm a minstrel. Spend some time around me and I'll write you all the songs you could possibly want. Get away from me. You really do have the most striking eyes. Makes me want to keep them all for myself. With a muse like that, I could write the most incredible songs you've ever heard. It's like, get back, you creep. Huh, that's odd. That one's never failed me. The man spread his face in just inches from mine and peered into my eyes. You feel this, dude, this is when you, look, you spit him in the face. I mean, it'll make him even angrier, but, well, he's not really mad right now, but it'll make him angry, but I mean, at the same time, you get the psychological advantage. The man brought his face in just inches from mine and peered into my eyes. I feel his hot, wine-drenched breath against my cheeks. It gave me the chills. I couldn't understand why this was happening to me. Panic and confusion had my heart racing. Go try your luck with someone else. Not interested. You will be soon enough, darling. You've simply never known a man's touch. He drew closer. He was already practically on top of me, but still he closed in. Closer and closer. The world faded out. I couldn't see anything. I could feel his rising body heat so near it made me nauseous. My eyes flung open, but there's nothing there. I only felt, could only feel. I couldn't move. My body wouldn't budge. In my mind, I kicked the man away. Pulled my fist back and slammed it into his jaw. Again and again and again, till his face was unrecognizable. Again and again and again and again, I beat him. But reality wouldn't have none of that. Michel! Hey, what do you think you're doing? 3 seconds? 10 seconds? Longer? I had no idea how much time I had lost. But the next thing I knew, Georgia had the man by the collar. Fell back against the wall, staring absent-mindedly as the two struggled. They traded blows and they traded insults. Before long, they had drawn a crowd. While they went at it, I distractedly drifted off. And only had one place to go. Wait, was that drifted off or drifted away? I didn't even bother to light a candle. I just stared into the darkness. My heartbeat was maddeningly loud in my otherwise silent chambers. What had happened? What had he done to me? Why? Why couldn't I do anything? The last thing I wanted to do was cry. Tears would only serve to worsen my humiliation. Only magnify how wretched I was. Only make me more effete? 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 I think that's effete.
Effete.
Effete! Ah! Affected over refined and ineffectual. No longer capable of effective action. Yeah. I bit down on my lip hard. I had no need for that trash on my body. I dug my nails into my arms. I had no need for that trash on my body. All of this. Every last bit of it. That was why I was the way I was. I didn't know how to put it into words. I didn't know how to express the boundless frustration within me. But after enough wordless groaning, a single word slipped from my lips. It felt incredibly right. God dang it! I knew good and well a girl shouldn't be using such words. The dear and Georges would have got an earful from Mother or George if they were caught saying that. Regardless. God dang it! Gosh dang it, sorry. It was the most fitting word I could come up with to represent even the smallest bit of my anger and loathing. I knew all I was doing was shifting the blame. That all it would accomplish was make me look pitiful. But I would take that over crying like a girl any day. Let loose a sigh that was halfway to being a scream. Started clawing wildly at my hair. Wanted to yank out every last dang strand of it. I didn't want it. I didn't want any of it. Any of this body. But in that case, what did I want from my body? Michel? May I come in, Michel? It was George's voice, slightly muffled through the door. The man who invited those people into this house. I'd been lying if I said I didn't hold that against him. Michel. At the same time, he'd also come to my rescue. Besides, I hated myself the most. Despised myself for being so helpless. Sorry, Michel. I didn't mean to hurt you. It's not locked. After a few moments of silence, George stepped into my room. Your hair's a mess, Michel. My God, you're bleeding. That was when I first noticed the stinging sensation in my lower lip. A metallic taste spread throughout my mouth. Been biting it much harder than I realized. There's a lot more blood than I expected. A trail of it was running down my chin, seconds was spilling onto my clothes and George just wiped it away. Really sorry, Michel. He gave me a real butt when he drinks. He's a bit of a womanizer at that. Never expected him to try to go after you, though. Really sorry. Didn't mean for this to happen. But, you know, there's a chance he may have, genuinely taken a liking. Georges, come on! This just makes it worse. Sorry. You're right. You want to be with a man you like, I understand. He ran his hands through my hair, as if trying to calm me down, at the same time cleaning up the mess I had made of it. It made me feel like I was some kind of plaything. A joke of a doll. I don't... Huh? I don't want to be with anyone. I'd never ever be comfortable with a man putting his hands on me like that. However, I'm sure you'll find someone eventually, Michel. Someone that feels right for you. Feel kind of awful for introducing you to him, but there are plenty of men in the world. You might not be interested now, but that'll change soon. It's part of growing up. You'd be best off forgetting today ever happened. I was dead certain, but apparently that wasn't enough to convince him. The very idea that I might one day meet a man that I wanted to touch me made my skin crawl. Why? Why did I feel like this? Was I just not interested in men? No, if that were the case, I wouldn't admire my brother's bodies. I didn't have any aversion to men. In fact, I enjoyed spending time with my brothers far more than indulging my mother in her woman's world. What I couldn't stand was the particular look men would sometimes give me. But why? Why did I not like that? I had no answer. My thoughts were only going in circles. Are you okay, Michel? He peered down at me, his face twisted in concern. But I couldn't answer him. How was I supposed to articulate this? My anger, my frustration, my irritation, my fear. I had no confidence he would understand. Georges, how's Michel? Amy's voice came from the doorway. Inexplicably, it felt like someone had stuck their hand in my chest and was now squeezing my heart. Like I'd just been caught in a compromising situation with the last person I wanted to see me. Ah, yeah, she's doing good, aren't you? Yes, I'm fine. Glad to hear it. I was clearly lying, not even looking him in the eyes when I said that, but it seemed to have gone over George's head. Amy, on the other hand, you don't look fine at all, she said, a hint of pain in her voice, and then entered the room. Georges, Father was asking for you. He says it's time to bring the gathering to a close. You should get going. I'll stay here with her. Oh, is he? Alright then. Sounds good. Once the sound of George's footsteps had faded into nothing, Amy took a seat beside me and, without warning, wrapped her arms around my shoulders. It's much better to talk to another girl at times like this. My heart leapt into my throat, but beyond the shock, I also found myself welcoming the warmth. It was pleasant, like the man's. That must have been terrifying, but don't worry, you're safe now. It wasn't really, no. No need to pretend, sweetie. If a man had me pinned against a wall, I'd be scared too. I mean it. I wasn't scared. I'm just disappointed in myself. Alright, I believe you. You're a strong girl, Michel. There aren't many who wouldn't have been scared. I'll be sure to give Georges a stern talking to about his choice in friends. Something I learned today is that he's somewhat of a pushover. You're a lot more tenacious than I thought. As a woman in this world, you have to be. If you're not, well, you'll figure it out soon enough, Michel. Of course, even as strong as you are, I'm sure it'll still be difficult to forget what happened to you today. George has told me to forget it as soon as possible, but Amy that I want to be able to. Was it the difference in their individual perspectives? Was it the difference between the way men and women thought? I wasn't sure. As my hand rested against her breast, a bit of frustration slipped out. I couldn't move my arms at all. You didn't even seem all that strong. I couldn't believe that I was really so weak. That's just the way of the world, Michel. Men are physically stronger than women, so you'll almost never overpower one. You're not any weaker than a normal girl. Don't blame yourself. Though it wasn't the consolation I had hoped for, her words still filled me with warmth. I exploited my own weakness to hear more of that soothing voice, and I alone knew how foolish I was in doing so. End of scene? That's probably the best stopping place I'll be able to get in the next, 10 minutes or so. So I'll call it there. I'm really liking Door 7 so far. Just that first 45 minutes alone. I definitely like it more than the first 3 doors so far. Maybe not Door 5. Because Door 5 was really good. But I think this could potentially be better than Door 5. We'll see. So I'll see you guys next time with some more of the house in Fata Morgana. Hopefully I'll be able to play again soon. The semester's almost over for me. 2 weeks left, counting this current week. So I think I only actually have 3 days left. This week and 1 day next week. So after that, I'll probably be able to record a bit more. Since weekdays are my best time to record, and I have class on weekdays, so I'll free up some time and, less homework to do, etc. So I'll see you guys next time with some more of the house in Fata Morgana when we continue Door 7. See you guys then. Bye.